Packing and deciding what to bring is never easy when it comes down to camera gear. Mainly due to the fact that you want to bring everything because you don't want to miss out on anything. But we know that's not how it truly works, so we're gonna have to make some decisions of what we will bring and what we won't for this travel. Let's start with the cameras that I need to bring and what will work best for my travels with what I'll need to create while I'm there. I know I'm gonna need to bring a great video compact camera, so I'm planning to bring out the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This will allow me to do some vlogging and some behind the scenes whenever I'm out and about just to create my content, while also bringing a small minimal setup so I don't bring up too much attention for safety, but as well not be able to hinder any quality whatsoever. The next camera that I'm gonna bring is one that has phenomenal video specs, but it also has good weather sealant. So I'm sadly gonna have to go with the Sony a7S III. The reason why I want to bring this camera is because due to the no overheating and as well as the weather sealing, just makes more sense than bringing the ZV-E1. This camera will give me the great advantage to take video in all the frame rates from the 4K 24 frames per second to the 120 frames per second, as well as getting some nice low light capabilities while having the dual SD card slots so that I can ensure I have a little bit of a backup since I'm going to be traveling. Plus, the good thing about it is since it has a mechanical shutter, I can go ahead and take photos with this just if I need to have something just kind of quick and easy if I'm focusing on video more that day, but I can also get some nice good photos because it's more than enough. And as far for a more dedicated photo camera with good video, I'm deciding to bring my Sony a7C Mark II for this trip. And sure, I know somebody's gonna say, why not bring your Sony a7 IV? It has better weather sealing and better, thermal dissipation so it doesn't overheat. And I'll tell you the reason why. Well, honestly, it was a decision made for me since the place we will be at for the tennis tournament is called Indian Wells, which apparently they don't allow much of pro setups, which is kind of vague, not really sure what that means. So I'm just gonna have to play my chances and see what happens. So with the Sony a7C Mark II and its relatively retro look, I'm hoping that it'll make it look like it's more of a retro camera rather than something more pro line. Especially for the average security guy that might not know anything about camera, my hope is to just go ahead and turn the screen into it so it just looks like it could be maybe a little bit of a film camera kind of style where it doesn't look like it's anything too crazy, and see what happens. And lastly, I plan to bring a nice little point and shoot film camera to be able to take some fun photos on film. Now, what lenses do I plan to bring to pair them with my cameras? Well, I'm planning to bring my Sony 20-70 f4 because it has a great range with relatively compact lens size. Since this will pair up nicely with my Sony a7C Mark II for the tennis tournament so that it doesn't look too much like a pro setup, so I'm able to more than hopefully be able to bring it in and capture some cool photos and videos while out there. And since it won't be as pro as the next lens that I plan to bring, and that is the mighty Tamron 35-150. This beast of a lens will help me get the remaining focal range that I'll need that my 20-70 won't cover. The good thing about this lens as well is that it'll have a faster aperture to cover that f2 to 2.8 range, so if I need something with more bokeh or for low light, depending if I want to pair up for some photos with the a7C Mark II or maybe my a7S III for video, it will cover me so nicely and I'll be able to just condense down with these two lenses. So that way I can pair both of these lenses to get a really great range from the 20 all the way to the 150, while as well having the wider range when it comes down with my Osmo Pocket 3 if I need to have anything kind of wide with it, since it has a relatively wide sensor and it's kind of nice to use for the vlogging setup while I'm out and about creating to just be able to have everything covered with my focal range. But of course, we can't forget bringing some nice accessories. I plan to bring a shotgun mic to be able to capture some good sound because I want to ensure that I have some nice crispy sound when making my videos for YouTube out there. As well as in case my wireless microphones give out, these don't require any battery, so it'll good to have a backup just in case. Because it's always good to bring a backup just in case. These will pair up nicely with my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 because I don't necessarily have to go ahead and connect them. So it's kind of nice to be able to have that option whenever I need to do my vlogging with the Osmo Pocket 3 to have wireless microphones that connect directly into the camera to have great sound. But if I do need to connect it to my actual camera, it does have the cable up in there where I'm able to just go ahead and save into it. And I have the windscreens all in one place, so I'm able to charge them up too and have the security that I might have some good sound with the windscreens, with the nice battery and everything. Next up is ensuring to have something that you'll definitely need because you never want to run out of it. That is SD cards and some extra batteries. I always like to bring a couple SD cards with me just in case, because you never know if one of them is going to get corrupted or something gets misplaced or anything like that. It's always nice to have some extra SD cards because you want to ensure that you're able to back up anything that you need to, have extra storage, because you never know if there's going to be a camera store around you to be able to get more of this. You can always charge up your camera battery, so if you need to do that, that's fine. But I like to bring extra ones just because in reality, I want to be always charged and go, especially if I'm out and about. I don't want to have to, hope for the best. So might as well get some extra batteries, and that's, pretty much the solid way to go. Never hurts to have a little bit of extra. And of course, the most obvious ones to be able to shoot some proper video is having some variable ND filters, but don't really care to go too much in depth. I just honestly use my variable ND filters by moment. They're the 2 to 5 stop. That's pretty much it, but that's pretty much the main accessories that I like to bring with me. But now we're gonna move on to the next one that is very important to have, especially if you travel a lot, to make sure you have a backup to your files. And then lastly, I like to bring my MacBook with me whenever I travel to be able to back up anything and everything into my MacBook and as well into some external hard drives. This allows me to store my files that I'm traveling with to be able to back them up into my computer, on the cloud, and as well into 2 separate hard drives, just to ensure I have everything backed up just in case anything can happen when we're traveling, so that I don't miss out on everything that I captured, because nothing is worse than going somewhere and spending money to go there than having, your files gone. Because it's nice to be able to feel relaxed when you have your files secure, because you now have no worries and you're able to go ahead and take your photos and videos and not feel like you're gonna fill those SD cards very fast, because you can dump them onto your laptop to ensure that you're safe. Now you might be wondering, what bag am I gonna bring for this travel? Well, we're simply gonna find out together, because what I like to do a lot is getting all the gear that I know I'm going to need, then trying to fit it into the camera bag that's the smallest, to then move on to the next one if needed be. So we're gonna try it out ourselves right now. So I'm first gonna try to fit everything in my Nomadic Peter McKinnon Luma bag that's an 18 liter. So that way I can see if it's worth it, or if I need to bring my 35 liter by Nomadic as well. Well, it seems to fit in it. The only thing is that I think it's going to be a little bit heavy feeling with just a smaller bag. And I also need to bring a small sling bag, because that tournament, I can't bring a backpack. So I'm going to put everything into the 35 liter by Nomadic as well. See if it feels a lot nicer, because I would obviously have to bring a couple more accessories that I didn't put in here, like my charger for my phone and my laptop as well. So we're going to see how it goes. So that's what it looks like with the Nomadic 35 liter. I was gonna try to do the same thing with the 18, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna do the 35, because if I need to get some other accessories or something whenever I'm out, it'll be fine to kind of fit them in there, especially when I'm traveling home. Maybe I got some stuff, I don't know, never know what I can find. And if I can't fit in my suitcase, it'll be fine to kind of put it in here, have a little bit extra, but it feels better on my shoulders right now with this. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do the 35 liter, mainly due to the fact that I have to bring that sling bag, and the way that I'm packing it, it just makes it easier for now. So gonna have to go with that for now and trust my gut into it and just suck it up. But yeah, that's how I go through the motions as to what gear to bring, to kind of figure out what size of bag I'm gonna bring and ensure that I have everything of my needs covered when I'm going to take a travel like how I am to California. Very excited to go somewhere new that I've never really explored much. I've only been to San Francisco back in like 2016, and it's been a hot minute because I went there when I wasn't a photographer, but I have some photos from that time. So here you go, so you can kind of laugh at them. But anyways, yeah, excited to put this to the test, to go with me and hopefully get to do everything that I need to in California, get through security to be able to take the photos that I want to at the tennis event, but mainly overall, just have fun and enjoy my time out there while creating some content for you. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.